Mount Aspiring and Fiordland National Parks in New Zealand's rugged South Island. The spectacular scenery is a magnet for outdoor adventurers. But it can be deadly. And when disaster strikes, the local police and search and rescue volunteers
I can see him, he's actually in the hole.
are the only lifeline. This time on High Country Rescue, the Te Anau police search for an overdue tramper.
The terrain is ankle-turning, leg-breaking sort of material.
And on a busy Saturday night in Wanaka, the team help an injured mountain biker.
You could see the bone sticking out. It's just so...
And hunt for a person last seen near the lake.
The way the water's up at the moment, he's gone in the water there.
It's Sunday in Te Anau. An Australian tourist has reported that her husband is missing. 3 days ago, 48-year-old James Poland started a tramp through a remote piece of Fiordland. Fortunately, James completed an intentions form. Christine Officer from the Department of Conservation studies James's route.
What occurs to me most is it is a very remote area and quite challenging in the fact that it's got rough, scrambly bits with exposed rock areas.
James is well prepared and carries his own emergency locator beacon.
So he has a beacon that hasn't gone off. Of course, yeah, there is another side to why your beacon might not be activated, and that something may have happened where you're not able to push the button. Our first action is to hand the situation over to the police.
James is nearly 24 hours overdue and is travelling alone. The Te Anau police waste no time dispatching a search helicopter. Landing at the Homer hut where James spent his first night, Constable James Ure and Dr. David Hamilton check the intentions book.
There's no one in particular that's going out through that same route, is it?
No, he's the only one doing that.
Yep.
It appears that he's on time with his intentions. He stayed overnight on the 20th, 21st. So from here, we'll start traversing the route that he would have taken and initially see if that brings up any clues. From our inquiries, it does appear that he is fully equipped and skilled with background knowledge of this area.
Here to go over, we'll go over the route and look at it from there. Right up in the top of the saddle, right through the back of the Gertrude there. And he hasn't got a rope with him, so there's a good chance we're hoping that he's just holed up somewhere there, waiting for somebody to come and get him off. We're hoping.
Lifting from the Homer hut, their plan is to fly low over James's route. The 2 to 3 day trek traverses ice, rock, and dense forest. With steep descents and house-sized boulders, it's not for the inexperienced. After flying the length of James's route, the crew land at Guns Camp on the Hollyford Road. James was due to pass through here yesterday.
We do know of 2 blocks that we don't show up.
Okay.
Turn around, so it's too hard.
How far up did they go?
They're gone 3 hours.
Camp manager Debbie Fletcher and her husband Mark keep a record of travellers who have passed through.
Just to let them know that if they see this guy coming out of the bush, they can contact the Te Anau police immediately.
No, they'll go and do that.
Thanks, Debbie.
Our fear at the moment is that he's overdue. The terrain from Adelaide down through to the Hollyford here is moraine boulders, large rocks, a lot of ankle-turning, leg-breaking sort of material. So if he's caught short of time and he's pushed himself to get out, there's a good possibility that he's come to grief in there and just be held up.
The team slowly backtrack the same route. The search area is vast. Finding James will not be easy. After checking every rock shelter and finding nothing, the crew fly back to the Homer hut to set up a ground search when Glenn notices something odd. A backpack sits upright out in the open. If the pack belongs to James, he is nowhere to be seen.
We've come to the high point here on the barrier knob. We've come across the barrier faces, and coming back along there, we've located that pack. The description of that pack matched what we were given by his wife.
I think he's just come off the ridge off Barrier Knob, and instead of swinging down the left-hand ridge onto Adelaide Saddle there, he's followed a ridge line down, and it's taken him onto those slabs. And
he may have just placed that pack there just to go over and have a look on the
looking for whether that was where the route went.
Yeah.
But he was well off route.
With this vital clue, the crew take to the air again. They trace a path directly below where the pack was found. Combing all the nooks and crannies, they make a startling discovery. James is caught in a stream halfway down the rock face. In the remote Darren Mountains, the Te Anau police are searching for James Poland, an overdue tramper. Minutes away from calling for backup, the team discover an abandoned backpack. Shortly after, they locate James. He is trapped halfway down the rock face. The crew then regroup below to set up for the rescue.
We've located our person in a watercourse. We're just reconfiguring the machine at the moment. It is quite steep country in there, so we've got a doctor here who's a mountaineer as well.
He slipped and hit his head early. He's probably got knocked out and ended up in that position. Injuries, he's obviously injured his torso and his leg injuries, and presumably there's going to be a bang on the head.
It's just about coordination between your winchman and the pilot. Make sure that you hold your position and hold your ground and hold the height wherever you want you go.
Flying above the spot where James is lying, Glenn winches David into position. With James on the ground, the helicopter pulls away to conserve fuel. One wrong step up here, and it's a long way down.
Oh, let's just go and have a look first, see what we can do.
Climbing down the steep rock face, Dr. Hamilton edges close enough to see that James hasn't made it.
Big injury on his hip. He's got multiples.
Perched on the near vertical rock face, the men work fast to recover James's body.
If we can get him onto the stretcher down there, I think it's better. I mean, in terms of the terrain, we're good on that bit just above his feet, okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're nearly there. Yeah, we're getting there, aren't we? Okay, you're doing bloody well there, James.
For Glenn and Chris below, it's a waiting game.
How are you getting on up here?
Yeah, Chris, we're free to come off.
Okay. There is 2 carabiners attached in the centre of the bed floor, which will be attached to stretcher 2. And then there's 2 short lines hanging off either side to connect yourselves to. We'll wind up now, we'll be up there in a minute.
Clipped onto the long line, Dr. Hamilton brings James's body down.
The saddest part of this is yes, he does have a wife waiting for him back in Te Aneo and 4 children who are here on holiday as well. So it's pretty sad.
After the tragic discovery, Constable James Ure knows that the hardest part of his job is yet to come.
Well, today was one of those days where there was strong emotions attached to the search and finding of James. He was due to be home to meet with his wife last evening, and she's waited overnight in the campground waiting for him to turn up. And now having to return to the campground and explain to her that we've found James and that he's passed away. And naturally, it's the very news that she's been fearing all day, and the worst news that she hoped to hear from us just now.
"300 kilometres away in Wanaka, it's Saturday night. And Search and Rescue Coordinator Sergeant Aaron Nicholson is helping emergency services find an injured mountain biker.
I'm aware of the tracks, I know roughly where this guy is. There's a good chance that we're going to possibly need to strop him out of there. There's a small clearing about 150 metres from where he is.
With only 1 hour of daylight left, Aaron gets hold of Search and Rescue volunteer Constable Mike Johnston.
But I've got a situation up at the Sticky Forest. We've got a mountain biker up there that's crashed. St John's are having a few difficulties trying to find him. So I'm just wondering if you're in a position to just scream on up there for us and just see if you can locate this person. It's just that we might run out of light. Okay, cheers, buddy. Bye.
Brothers Pascalino and Sonny Scholler were riding in the forest and made the emergency call.
We just heard someone calling down, "Help, help!" Like, he was just lying here, like, all mangled up, like this. Something like this. Like, I don't know, his leg was, like, broken completely there, shattered and stuff. You could see the bone, like, sticking out. It was just sick. It's like, didn't know exactly where the location was, and I was just, like, starting to shake a little bit, because I was thinking, man, no reception. What do you do? Doctor's ABC. I was like thinking, do I need to touch it or anything? I was just like, just leave it, get him as comfortable as possible, and just boosted up the hill and I rang 111.
Next to arrive on the scene is Search and Rescue volunteer Constable Mike Johnston.
So we've had a bit of a mission trying to locate him because the people who found him aren't locals, and it looks like the bike sort of kicked out from underneath him, and he decided to get close and personal with the pine tree. He's done a fairly serious fracture of his ankle. He said that when he looked down, his foot was facing the wrong way.
The injured man is Wanaka local Nick Ward. Nick has had no pain relief, but is stable for now. Back at base, Aaron has a plan to get Nick out of the forest.
You want to chopper? They've got an hour of daylight left.
Mike, if you could just come back to me in the next few minutes as to whether you're going to bring that helicopter in. You're saying yes? Okay, we'll make that happen then, shall we?
Just having a bit of problems getting communication with the helicopter that's come from Queenstown. We can hear them, they can't hear us.
Daylight is fading fast, and the Queenstown rescue chopper isn't equipped for night flying. So the team will need to work fast if they are to fly Nick to hospital.
How we doing? Hey Nick, I'm Steve. How you feeling? What we'll probably do, let's take you back to Queenstown. Okay, it's too dark. So guys, what we want to do is obviously lift him into the orange stretcher.
Ready to lift? Lift, deep breath.
So, we're just letting that sink in and it will support your leg. So we're just going to tear through this a bit quick because we don't want it to get too dark.
How long do you think you guys will be?
5.
If it gets too dark for the chopper to lift off, their only option will be a risky stretcher carry, 500 metres down a steep slope.
Have you had morphine before?
Yeah.
Does it work all right for you, Nick?
I hope so. Proper. Yeah. I just went over and then the back kicked out of my bike and went straight into a tree.
broken his helmet. That's serious, man. He'd be like in a vegetable now if he wouldn't have his helmet, hey. This saved his life, probably.
Copy, go ahead.
How long does it take to kick in? Not sure.
Lane takes a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Okay, just going to give you a little
jungle juice.
bit of here. Yeah. That might give you a bit of a head rush, that first dose.
Okay, go up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Guys, you can see the fence all right?
Yep.
There you go. Sorry, Nick. Cheers, thanks for that, gents and ladies.
Nick was operated on the following day. A rod was inserted above his kneecap to mend a spiral fracture in his lower leg. But in less than an hour, Sergeant Aaron Nicholson is called back to the office. The search and rescue phone has gone off again.
I'll just start from the beginning. When did people start searching? What time?
It's the middle of the night, and Search and Rescue Coordinator Sergeant Aaron Nicholson has been called into the office for a second time.
So they've had no success?
26-year-old Robin Hughes has disappeared from a campsite on the Lake Wanaka shoreline. Aaron urgently needs some search and rescue volunteers.
Hi, Zoe here from Baby Builders.
So obviously the guys are value their sleep and aren't answering, or they sleep soundly and don't hear their phone.
Hello?
Hey, look, we've just got a SAR job on at the moment. Are you able to help us out with that? Perfect.
Fortunately, Aaron manages to track down Police Constable Emma Fleming and search and rescue volunteers Phil Melchior and Glenn Shearson.
Last seen 1600, 23-year-old son seems to have wandered off, has not returned. Seen at 10 to 1600, he's coming out of the lake from swimming. We've seen it at his tent, wearing swim costume, dark coloured long shorts, 5'11" average build, dark short hair. Suffers from bipolar, is on meds and taking them properly. You guys look at that lost person behaviour book. Yep. That'll start your ball rolling.
So I've got in Dublin Bay, come back up.
Aaron maximises his resources by sending Police Constable Pete Reid on a mission.
So we're looking for a 5'11", solid build, average solid build, dark short hair, possibly 23 years old. His name's Robin.
The briefing that I've got is that people with these kind of mental health conditions are attracted to the lights. So I'm going to get the lights going, and hopefully it'll be like moth to a flame, and he might come out and make himself known, and we can get him back to safety. There's a lot of ground to cover. There's up and down terrain, there's rivers, there's lakefronts. So there's all those kind of hazards that we've got to potentially troll through.
Back at the office, Phil and Glenn assemble a search kit, and Emma interviews Robin's father.
His concern is he's been in a more depressed state for some months.
Yeah.
But the other thing is he doesn't think he's eaten for 24 hours because he didn't get up to lunch. So,
is he big? Sorry, Q7, go ahead.
No.
Just to let you know, I've cleared the Dublin Bay area, just heading towards Mangawera now.
Yeah, thank you. If you just keep the lights on and go all the way down to the end of the road, and just then turn around and work your way back.
People affected with bipolar disorder experience extreme mood swings.
According to the lost person behaviour, they tend not to travel far.
I know the lake's up higher than normal. It might be prudent to put a boat in the water.
What you seen coming out of the water?
It's over 8 hours since Robin was last seen, and water is the team's biggest concern.
I know there's a fence goes into the lake about there somewhere. Now that fence will be under the water, the way the water's up at the moment, and it'd be worth just quietly going over that with a boat, because if he's gone in the water there, he'd be caught up in the fence.
We need people on the ground out there, so I would like, if we could, possibly if you two could go out there.
The family and friends have had something of a search. We need to make sure that there's been a good look around the lake shore in that area.
If he's gone anywhere near the lake and, you know, slipped in, well, you know, we don't even want to think about it, but we have to.
You know, he has been a bit depressed recently. So, you know, we also need to look at the behaviour of despondence and potential suicides and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's another one of those things that needs to be taken into consideration. The more time that goes on, the more probability is
It's a
that
sliding scale, isn't it?
you're not going to get a good result.
So it's through this gate and then the second gate there. But the hard thing at the moment is the lake is very high because of the rain that we've had, and so any of the beaches that should be along over here, they've all gone.
Arriving at the campground, Phil and Glenn notice that Constable Pete Reid has beaten them there.
Pete from Wanaka Base, can you confirm you have the missing person with you now?
Good.
How we doing, guys?
Good,
Yeah.
Who was it that picked him up?
It was me.
Robin. Hi, I'm Phil from Search and Rescue. You feeling okay?
Yeah.
What was your plan?
Just keep walking.
No, good to have you back. Next time, be good if you let somebody know where you go. Okay?
Even if you just write a wee note.
Yeah, just say I've got
really helpful.
gone in such and such a direction, and then it makes our job a lot easier. We know where to start. Okay, well, we'll leave you to your family, and yeah, good to have you back.
We're really glad you're back, mate.
It's fantastic to have people behind us.
No, it's all right. That's what we're here for.
Good on you.
Okay.
His mother was sweet, wasn't she? She
Yeah,
was,
absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always good, however it comes about, to get a result, whether it's
Yes.
something that we do or it just happens.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.